Blessings, family. Sister Ajali. I had wanted to talk about Lizzo prior to this latest report that she's threatening to quit her career over cruel weight jibes. Singer reposts mean comment asking, how is she still this fat? I don't know whose emphasis that was, if it was in the original comment or not, when she's constantly moving this much on stage. Now, here's I had spoken on Lizzo before. It's simply because her reality is troubling, as my conclusion is that she is being just promoted to be as just hyper exposed in her size for the purpose of encouraging black women to continue in our unhealthy habits, to continue to feel hopeless over our own destiny when it comes to our sacred, the most sacred temple you have, which is your body. And in order to do that, that means you really have to divorce yourself from the long-term consequences of your actions. And that leaves you prone for the poisons that are in the middle of all of these foods. Saturate, forget about being in the middle, but saturate all of these different foods, most of them corporate kitchen foods, but all seafood is contaminated with radiation, and that's the real agenda there, because otherwise they wouldn't be shipping in everything from Fukushima without any alerts that there's still radiation in there, and Eric Adams wouldn't be tracking meat and dairy. And I'm pretty much sure they may not announce it in the news, but I'm pretty much sure every single community and city and county is going to soon be tracking that Fukushima food to make sure that it is directly shipped to black communities. And so this hedonistic, gluttonous, just voracious appetite, so that you never learn that you do not have to be overcome by your taste buds. You can train your taste buds to prefer that which is healing, that which perpetuates your life for is whatever length of time as the Most High will grace you to have, and that you can thereby have a better outcome. I know that's the case 100% because I have the stats of a 20-year-old woman back in, like 30 years ago, not today, because so many of us have succumbed to our addictions, our taste bud addictions. And that is the reason why, for me, I have spoken about Lizzo, because she's so being used where you cannot change human nature. The first response when you see a woman who is that big and she's wearing such an attention-grabbing outfit as Lizzo, every time I've seen her, she always wears, this is not a healthy size to be. You can manage to be, people don't realize that when you're fat, you can have a lot of muscles. More than likely, you have a lot of muscle underneath that because you're moving around your own Nautilus machine with everything that you do. You can manage to achieve a great cardio, just endurance level, and because you do have to do some heavy lifting in order to get through every day. I mean, most people who work out and they are of a slender constitution, you're not working out 24/7. And I mean, everybody's got to go to sleep at some point in time, but literally overweight people, and I mean obese also, in general, they're working out on a Nautilus the minute they have to get up out of bed. And it can get to be tiring for them because anybody would be working out like for 9 hours a day. It will break stuff down after a while. That's overworking out. And so with Lizzo, I look at it as it's not just segmented to her and her weight issue, but just the overall surface thinking mindset that they've talked almost not everybody into, but a huge portion of the human population. And I don't mean, and that's what, when we look at Lizzo, because she's being encouraged, we just assume, oh, this is all black women. No, it's not. Even though there are a lot of black women and black men who are overweight at this point, because it's such an easy thing. Food is delicious, right? Who's going to say, oh, no, that food is terrible? I don't know, It's a lot different than shooting up heroin. I understand heroin's fantastic, but I don't ever need to try it. But we all need to eat, right? So there are a lot of us who are overweight. But there are even more of us who, including the folks who aren't overweight, who are addicted to different surface thinking hindrances that keep us from having cohesive relationships, families, just fulfillment in life. And that mindset expresses itself through Lizzo in not seeing the repercussions of what she's doing, not just so that her body will suffer the consequences of massive inflammation going on all over the place in every organ, including her brain, but in the outcome. Like, you'll have people who think that they could live la vida loca, even have families in the midst of having la vida loca. Like, they're trying to, put out there, oh yeah, no, there's alternative families out there. They could have children. You could have 2 daddies, 2 mommies. How are you going to raise a child with the concept of the sacredness of the opposite sex if you find the opposite sex too disgusting to touch? You're not. That's an imbalance that is going to express itself somewhere along that family line, however shortly it lasts. I don't wish any child being born anything but the best chance at having a fulfilling life. But I'm just saying, when you got that surface thinking, so you are not contemplating how integral a man and a woman are, even if one of them is not present. The understanding that our family would be better off if we had mom here, if we had dad here, is evidence in simply the child. There's no child who's missing their extra dad, their extra mom. No, if they don't have one parent in the household, they envy the children who have that missing opposite sex family member in authority over their lives. They miss dad. They miss mom. They may not have ever met them, but they miss that one. They don't miss the same one. Right? And so there are things about life that the devil right now, you got to be thinking beyond. You got to be ready to be rid of him. And folks like Lizzo, they're not ready to be rid of him. They think that without the white man and all of his intoxicating trinkets, there is no life. We're very much like, when we think about, I hate this word, but primitives being shown their photos and they think, oh, they stole my soul with a photo. You thought, how quaint, how ignorant. But that's a lot of us right now. Me too. I just can't remember the different aspects where I'm like, okay, I got to get over that. Right? But we just think that without these folks in charge, there's no life. Without Christmas, there's no fun. And that's just not true. Well, Lizzo, she should know. She wants to change the whole world to accommodate her addictions, when the natural just response to If you see a fat cat, you're not going to think, oh, there goes a skinny cat. That cat looks like it needs some food. No, you're going to think that cat overeats. Who's taking care of that cat that they would let it get to that state? And so with Lizzo to threaten to quit her whole career over this, did you not expect this type of response? And who are you to tell the whole world, which has been generationally really just naturalized to not seeing this as a healthy state of body? Who are you to tell the whole world to change itself just so you could have your career, because you refuse to accept the reality of who you are? If you really love being fat, then love it no matter what anybody says. That's like with the trans sutured folks who really what they want is to be seen as women. They are not going to agree to having a separate sports category, because then that would destroy their point, which is that they're real women or they're real men. Even though when you look at the men's sports, you ain't never going to see a trans sutured female participating and destroying all the male competition. That'll never happen. But these people want us to believe something like that is just, it's just gender. It's fluid. Right? No, this is not healthy. And subconsciously, that's our first response, to know that. And so somebody out there who's close to Lizzo, stop lying to her. Stop gaslighting her. And so she then wants to come to the whole world and be a tyrant to us, right? I'm just like, enough with all of that. We've got some serious issues going on this planet. And that you, with your petty, just, ego, you're not helping the world. I don't like celebrities at all, because everything's about them. No, it's not. Especially when you get to be at that level of notoriety, that's when you really need to contemplate what you do, how you do it. You got to take extra time. You are not helping little girls who may be on the brink of having serious lifetime weight issues, which are going to cut off decades of their full life potential. You're not helping them by making it seem like you could be this big and in charge, right? That's just not possible. Okay, so I don't mean anything untowards, but I'm tired of just this lying society and the fakery going on. We got to be truthful. Okay? All right. I love your family. Thank you, dear brother. Oh, for your soap purchase. I'm going to get off of here and pack it right up. It'll be out in the mail tomorrow. So everybody, just this wonderful brother this is his third soap order, because he knows the soap is phenomenal. Ain't no joke about it. So go to 25,000yearcycle.org and assist me in being for real about that daggone radiation. That's why I wrote this book, Furnace of Affliction, because radiation, even if you are learning how to be in command of your appetite, it's in everything. And you have to get it out, because otherwise it bioaccumulates. These people mean to kill us. Those Georgia Guidestones, if any of us, wrote a threatening letter to the president, you would have the FBI, whomever, right at your door, arresting you, investigating to see, what weapons you got, whatsoever. But they could put up a friggin' monument on a hilltop in Georgia saying it is going to wipe out billions of people. And that's okay. That's not because they don't mean it. They mean it. And it's through the radiation. So you need this book. You'll find it also on 25,000yearcycle.org. straight, black, family, pride, and we are out of this hell. Peace and blessings.